is the last frontier, a realm of vast, untracked wilderness, where monsters and evil spirits slither through the darkest parts of the land's day-long nights. There aren't many Alaskan urban legends, but that doesn't mean the state is devoid of local legends and tall tales. On the contrary, the state is home to dozens of monster and ghost accounts, chronicling everything from UFOs to murder. Here's some of the best scary stories from Alaska. Number 5. UFO chases aircraft. In 1986, a Japanese airliner en route to Anchorage from Iceland encountered 3 UFOs who followed it for nearly 400 miles above the Alaskan wilderness. And yes, right through the middle of the Alaska Triangle. One of the objects, described as twice the size of an aircraft carrier, appeared to be some kind of mothership. The 2 others were possibly scout vessels. The pilots, with permission from air traffic controllers in Anchorage, engaged in evasive maneuvers to try and avoid the UFOs, but to no avail. The strange, spooky craft maintained pursuit, outmaneuvering the airliner for almost an hour, not backing off until the plane approached the skies near Fairbanks, AK. When asked to speculate why the UFO was so interested in their flight, the pilot humorously remarked that the plane had been carrying wine from Paris, and maybe the aliens wanted some of it. Number 4. Saber Wolf. Inuit legends describe a wolf-like evil spirit of the Nahanni Valley that kills people by biting their heads off. Though the so-called Headless Valley lies in Canada, its resident monster has been sighted in Alaska at least once by an American mechanic who described it as a wolf on steroids, and the crew of the American TV show Alaska Monsters claims to have narrowly escaped an encounter with the beast. Cryptozoologists speculate the saber wolf might actually be a remnant population of dire wolves, or bear dogs of the Eocene. Descriptions of the creature make it sound more like a bear dog than a wolf, but who can tell with evil spirits, really? Number 3. Alaskan Lake Monster. In Alaska, there's the legend of the beast of Lake Alamna, a giant pack-hunting fish that has been terrorizing people on the lake's surface since prehistoric times. Both Aleut and Tlingit legends feature tales of the lake monster, and several modern sightings have lent the stories a bit of credibility with cryptid hunters. One of the most astonishing encounters with the Aleut occurred in 1967 when Chuck Carpoche saw the monster swimming in the lake while he was flying over it in his plane, and later decided to fish for it. He and a friend attached tuna hooks baited with caribou meat to a float plane using 5/16 stainless steel cable. Something in the water bit the hooks and towed the plane around the lake. When the plane was recovered, they found that the meat was gone and the tuna hooks had been straightened out. Number 2. Shapeshifter. Folklore tales of evil monsters who could shift forms between otter and human, lure unwary people into the water by screaming like women or children in danger, and then steal their souls. This sort of thing might be easily dismissed as just another folktale, except that encounters with the ottermen continued into modern times. Most of the encounters occurred around the Thomas Bay area of Alaska. In 1900, a gold prospector who was chased by a whole pack of the ravenous creatures barely escaped with his life. Not caring whether anyone thought his tale insane, the fellow vowed never to return to the area ever again. Number 1. An Alaskan Haunting. Just after the turn of the 20th century, the Kennecott copper mine outside of McCarthy, AK, was an enormously profitable venture, producing thousands of jobs and a 30-year economic boon for the little Alaskan town. The railroad through the area was eventually abandoned due to the cost of constantly changing its position across a nearby glacier, and the mining camp became a ghost town. A very haunted ghost town, so haunted in fact that the spectral phenomena in the area, which included tombstones appearing and then vanishing along hiking trails, sounds of crying children, and poltergeist activity, was enough to drive away state government workers who were trying to redevelop the area into government housing projects during the 1990s. The ghost tactics included the effects mentioned above, along with stealing workers' tools right out of their belts and toolboxes. Perhaps the restless spirits of the Kennecott mines don't want anyone jumping their claims, even after all these years.